Good morning. There's a lot of debate about the position of Governor-General in this country. What it really amounts to, the position of Governor-General must be a unifying figure which commands the confidence of all Australians, not a political appointee, and I agree with that statement completely. Samantha Mostyn is a political appointee who has proved in the past that she wants Australia to become another possession of the one world government, and in no way does she represent our system like Albo. She thinks we should own nothing and be happy, being controlled by idiots that think they know better than us. Is that a true statement? Absolutely is. You see, we have a constitution, Albo. You use it when you want to manipulate the people, rip them off, twist and bend things like the voice, which was a lie. Even the people you supposedly were representing turned on you and voted against it, being the native people of this country. But the problem is you don't understand. Get your dictionary out, sit down and read it. Everybody born in this country is native to this country. Everybody born in this country is indigenous to this country. Like it or lump it. Everybody born in this country is Aboriginal, even though I don't like that word. And you talk about you pay homage to elders past and present. I hope that includes elders of all the people here. Not racist, because we're all one race. It's time you woke up to the fact the Constitution lays out the duties of a Governor-General, 62 to 68. Samantha has no hope of meeting any of it. She is a left-wing, nasty person who has now deleted all her posts off her Facebook page and everything, so you can't work out who she is. But we already have them. We already know who she is. She's a nasty specimen who is sitting in every position she's ever sat in treason against the Australian people. She has never sworn an oath of allegiance to the monarch as required by William and Mary, an imperial law that binds everybody to an oath before taking their oath of office, and that includes you too, Albo. So all you're doing is employing another traitor, another one you can manipulate and try and use her to manipulate us. You look at her, she should go back and become a human before she wants to stand there and represent the people. It is the people's choice, not yours. You are nothing. In the scheme of things, the best you could be is a foreman of a parliament, if you were lawfully elected and you weren't. She must comply with the letters patent issued by Queen Victoria for the appointment of Governor-General of this country, not the one issued by Bob Hawke in, 1985 he issued that? And this is out of your book. He issued a letters patent in the name of Queen of Australia. Have you ever bothered to read that? No, you haven't. Because it's Queen of Australia and her other realms. So you made a statement that you notified the king and he agrees and that. You're a liar. You are a liar. Because you swear your allegiance now to King Charles III, King of Australia. Another doesn't exist. But you missed the point with the Queen of Australia. This bit's missing. The bit missing is her heirs and successors. So, if there were no heirs and successors, who's Charles? King Charles III, King of Australia. How do you have an heir and successor to a throne that doesn't exist? Are you brain dead or intellectually impaired? Because you can't call you stupid anymore. Intellectually impaired. To think that you could produce a King of Australia out of a Queen of Australia that has no heirs and successors, doesn't follow our Constitution. None of yous have ever bothered to swear the oath of allegiance required before you take your position in the Parliament. That's section 42 of our Constitution. So you're a lying fraud. Lying fraud. Just look at the statements that come out of your spineless mouth, Albanese. You and all your states that you call states, but they're not. Every single thing in this country has an ABN number. You are trading companies under Fair Work Australia where you're registered. You're a foreign agent government entity in America. Why don't you for once tell the truth? The High Court ruled in the Queensland Rail case, HCA 11 of 2015. You got an ABN number, provide services for money, and employ people. You're a trading company. You come under federal legislative authority. What authority? We've never, ever had a lawful federal parliament. To do that, we had to have, at the beginning, on January the 1st, 1901, 6 lawful states created under 107, 108 and 109, and their constitutions lawfully put in place under 106. Didn't happen. 5 did, 1 didn't. Then they set about, under the instruction of clowns like you, Albanese, removing each state constitution and replacing it with another one. By 1975 there were no lawful states. So where did you get to control the parliaments of all the states? To grant you an authority which didn't exist to create the Australia Act. I know how you did it. Excuse me. What you did is you removed the part of the Australia Act, took it to England, Bob Hawke did, and lied to the British Parliament. Misled, deceived and lied to the British Parliament. An act of treason. An act of treason. You had an oath of allegiance to the people you owed, but you didn't do it. So you're a traitor by doing that. So Hawke was a traitor before he left. But he lied. He didn't tell England he was abolishing everything to do with England out of our system. He didn't tell them that he was creating Australia as a independent sovereign nation, which he couldn't do because you had no authority. He was just like you, an idiot, pronouncing himself into a system where he thought he was above everybody else. That's why you're all maggots, because you put yourself there, you're there, in the sewer where you belong. Why don't you go back and crawl amongst the blind mullet in the urine and stay there, because you might get more sense out of it than the people you were appointing and giving them authority, saying they have all these rights when you have none. If you don't come from a state, from a pool of people set up by the governor of the state, if you aren't elected from there, you don't exist. Get it? Our Constitution says so. Can you change that? No. No, you can't. Can you alter it? You never asked us, but we can't anyway. Why? Simply because it's a letters patent. Every single thing in this country was put under a letters patent on the 29th of October 1900 by Queen Victoria. Fact? Yes. Absolute fact. Can you change that? No. No, you can't. Only the monarch can change the letters patent, none have. None have. Queen Elizabeth in 1986 went before the Parliament and said she upholds all of her great-grandmother's letters patent, so they're there. So everything that you call an act or law, there's no point getting the Governor-General, especially not that thing that you are going to appoint, but you haven't. You must go to the monarch for a signification. Otherwise you can't touch it. The garbage that all Aboriginal people that you call are Indigenous, or all the rest of it, they're the First Nation and all that. The First Nation was the Commonwealth of Australia. There is none ever recorded other than that. There's none. You say there is, you're a liar. That's why you put out the book Red Over Black and all the rest of the crap you've been pushing, Every time we've attempted to give the people here, when we came here, the same rights as us, you've taken it off them. You've taken everything. Up north now, there's a medical centre there and you've taken all the staff out. Where's the staff? What's the good of a building if you've got no one to staff it, you morons? What's going to happen to the people there? They'll die while trying to get medical help. How's that helping them? You're not going to. Now let's get back to the truth of the matter. Whereas the people of New South Wales, Queensland, Victoria, Tasmania, South Australia and Western Australia joined together in one indissoluble federation of the Commonwealth of Australia, the first nation registered in this country. Who was it registered for? The people. All people. Black, white, green, yellow, doesn't matter what they are, it was for all people. Now, and I'll say again, as I've always said, we have to look after their sacred sites. It doesn't give them, their youth, the right to destroy ours. It doesn't give anybody the right to destroy anybody's. If you have a sacred site, you can't touch it if it is sacred. Where's the evidence? There isn't any. The majority of sites in this country that are numbered or marked have already been selected years ago. Not the ones now where you've got a group of people walking around every time you want to do something, oh, you can't do that, that's sacred. No, it's not. First you've got to sort out who owned what. And you can't. Because you've got Negrito people here still. You go to Walloona or Upper Run, the tribes around there, they say there's still giants in the hills. Whether there is or isn't, I don't know. But I do know for a fact there are Negrito people here. Because I've heard it off honest people. Yes, and they are called Aboriginals, and they do know what they're talking about. They don't believe in you, they think you're a donkey as well. You know, you want to cause division in this country, you're a fool. You think you're going to get somewhere by doing it? No. You see, sitting under this is two Bibles. Both of them say, when you try all this garbage, there'll be 3.5 years. Good years. After that, there'll be some pretty bad years. You cannot do anything to change the prophecies in these books. You may think so. You can dream on, you go on your little fairy tales. Klaus Schwab may as well put horns on himself, paint himself red and walk around like that, because he's a reincarnation of him no matter what. That's not possible, but he's just a donkey following their protocols. So you just have a lovely day. Because what I'm going to serve up to you next, you're not going to like. I'm going to do another video, and that video will explain the treachery, the treason, the fraud, and the stealing of everything in this country. You like that? Isn't that nice? But it will be the truth. And I have the evidence to back it up. So you have a lovely day while I get my documents together and prove what a filthy, lying traitor you are. Thank you.